Hey, it's Steve again. Um, so rather than waiting until the end of the day to record this and kind of give you my thoughts on the day, this is day two of abstinence from alcohol. And the reason why I decided to do it midday, it's 3 o'clock, as opposed to the end of the day, is I got a calendar alert on my work email or work calendar that it was 3 o'clock, and typically 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon, I would pop my first beer. I earned it, right? I mean, it's the start of the weekend, and so it was like one of those um, things that just became habit, and I've done it for you know, boy, as long as I can remember. And so you know, really, I can't think of many Fridays where I didn't pop a beer at 3 o'clock. Um, and it was kind of symbolic of hard work week, and that's how I rewarded myself. So today I'm rewarding myself with watching college football while drinking this liver detox tea, which by the way really tastes bad. It's no substitute for coffee or anything else. I think I'll be switching back to water. Um, but anyways, so day two, I'm feeling great. Uh, I do notice a um, uh, just my head is clearer right now. So I'm doing a little being a little more productive at work. I can't say it was a radical change, but it's definitely something where I felt um, much more clear-headed during the day. I'm uh, not tired, from a lack of sleep. Though I'll admit I had 5 hours and 2 minutes of sleep 2 nights ago, and last night I had 5 hours and 2 minutes of sleep. Um, but I think it must have been a higher quality sleep because I feel great today. So weight wise, I'm not gonna go and judge day by day, but I was 192.2 yesterday. I was 192.2 today. Probably be 192.2 tomorrow. Um, but the weight isn't going to be the measuring stick. I mean, it's everything. It's how everything gets impacted. And so, as I you know kind of think about my relationship with alcohol and what it's played in my life, and I try to weigh the negatives versus the positives, and the positives in terms of that social lubrication. Um, I like meeting people. I like that interaction, and I have to admit that having a beer with somebody or sitting next to somebody and they're having a beer and you're having a beer, and you strike up a conversation, it just seems to kind of break the ice. Um, though I'm not a person who needs alcohol in order to talk to people. I've always been able to do that, but there's been that social aspect, or even like at work, happy hours, or going out with clients. It's such an accepted business practice that it just became ingrained in my day to day activities. And so next week I found out that I have a dinner with my boss and a couple other people, and so that'll be a challenge going out to a restaurant, and you go there and you start with a cocktail. I'll have a club soda with lime, or something like that, a splash of cranberry juice. Um, you know, Something where I still have that drink in my hand, and you have that. It's kind of like a smoker. You're used to having a bottle of beer, or a wine glass in your hand. So finding a substitute for that, just so you don't feel awkward in terms of how your mannerisms. Um, but getting back to the positives versus the negatives, I you know I, I have low blood pressure, or not low blood pressure, but my blood pressure isn't high. It is not elevated in any way, and so um, you know maybe alcohol has something to do with that. I know it's not genes because both my parents have had issues with blood pressure. Um, but I can't think of a lot of positives, and that's really the point I'm trying to drive in right now. Is I think in terms of decisions that were made, I can't think of good decisions that I made because of alcohol, but I can think of some bad ones that I've made, and just the toll that it has on the body. And part of the reason why I'm doing this and talking about it and taking this month off from drinking is I can't help but believe that some of the excess weight that I'm carrying is attributable to my alcohol consumption. It has to be, and also just in terms of the overall aging process. As I mentioned in my first video, I'm 51 years old, and I can see when I take a look at pictures from even 5 years ago, I notice a big difference. And so it's my experiment. I feel like a guinea pig experimenting on myself and seeing what the result is. It's going to be somewhat of a social experiment for me to see if how I function without alcohol. As I mentioned, I've got some occasions coming up that, like tomorrow when football season kicks off, I would typically have a beer or two or more. So anyways, so as it stands today, I'm kind of reassessing that relationship, going through my head, thinking about the positives, the good that's come out of my relationship with alcohol, and then the bad. And the one thing I didn't even mention was the financial cost. We have a restaurant here in town where they have a membership club, and they keep track of how many unique beers that you've had. And with each beer being on average $6, $6.50, and I've had 500 and something unique beers. We're talking about $3,000 or $4,000 that I've spent over the last 3 years on maybe 4 years on beer at this restaurant. Okay, $750 to $1,000 a year. You do the math. That's $60 to $75 a month just on beer at this one particular restaurant, and that doesn't include everything else that I've bought or consumed or whatever. So if I were going to take a look, and you have Dave Ramsey and Dave Bach, other authors talking about how to cut costs and take that to pay down debt or to invest for your future. I mean, there is a real forget about the weight, forget about the wrinkles, and the aging, and what I might be doing to my body. What I'm doing to my financial health is probably as detrimental. And combine the two, because if you're not at your best physically, not at your best mentally, and you're not at your best financially, it's a triple whammy, because you really, in order to maximize your potential and maximize your opportunities, if you're not of clear head and clear mind and clear and healthy body, you can't be giving your best. And so I can't help but think that even those decisions have had a financial impact, let alone what I've doled out in cold hard cash. So anyways, some thoughts about it. Day 2 is going great. Not missing it. Looking forward to watching some football and doing some cooking. And I'll continue to do this. There is a subscribe button now. please hit it if you're interested in following me through this journey. I'd love to have you come along with me. Still in the process of having the website, the blog, and the Twitter account, and I got to learn Instagramming. I honestly don't know it, but I'll get those up and running. Figure out how to get show notes and the works as well. So thank you for taking this time with me, and I hope to see you again. Thank you. Bye bye.